What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Canes Insight Podcast Instant Reaction Show. Hurricanes adding a safety here with Conrad Hussey out of St. Thomas Aquinas. Now Miami Hurricane took a long road to get here. Player I've liked since high school. It's been an interesting road, but we'll walk through it here as he lands in Miami. More depth safety with potential for more. So we'll talk about that with man himself, Peter Reese. Hop in.
D, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, man. This is funny. I remember talking a lot about this player back when he was in high school at St. Thomas. We thought we might have a chance to land him. He was a 10-9 track guy coming out. Really good speed, really good player. Goes to FSU. First year was their defensive freshman of the year, and that was on the team that won the ACC, their last good team, really. He was the freshman of the year on that team defensively. 2024, he gets hurt. The team falls apart. Disaster, 2 wins. Last year, new defensive coordinator, new DB coach. He's not really fitting in, gets in a fight with the defensive backs coach. Based on how FSU played on defense, I think he was probably right. But transfers to Oregon State right in the middle of camp, like in August. Never really finds his footing. That team's also a disaster with a coach about to get fired. He ends up redshirting and now back in the portal going to Miami. Interesting move. To me, Pete, this seems like more of just, hey, there's a player we know. Jason Taylor coached him at St. Thomas Aquinas. I think he may know him even longer because of his son playing youth football. There's both his sons playing youth football down here. Believe there's a relationship dating back to when they were kids. But obviously, Jason Taylor trusts the player. And this is the guy that you told me, I remember when we first did this podcast, that there was a scout out there at FSU, I want to say 2024, and he told you, hey, this Hussey's a player.
Yeah, after his first year, I mean, they were kind of looking at him as one of the building blocks for their defense. And I think this could be a move, D. We talk about guys, we mentioned a JoJo Trader, right? Sometimes guys need to get out of this environment to kind of refine themselves and go somewhere where they can again be the man again. And I think he's going to do very well with CJ Bailey, Chance Robinson as well. But sometimes you need the reverse. Sometimes you need to come back home and be around people who helped get you to where you were, to kind of lock back in, right? So I'm really not too sure what happened the last year. Obviously left FSU mid-year and then went to Oregon State and then left there. So I don't know all the details of that, but you're talking about a guy who at one point was thought to have a lot of upside there, some good size on him as well. And I think just a nice piece to add to the mix there in the safety room.
Yeah, 6'2", 200. Again, I mentioned 10-9 flat, 100-meter in high school, so he can run. He's a physical player, mean player. That's what he showed when he was the defensive freshman of the year, like I mentioned, for FSU. Just look at his total stats. 24 games at FSU, 40 tackles, interception, 3 pass deflections. Oregon State didn't do much. 5 tackles, half a tackle for loss, pass breakup in 4 games and taking the red shirt. But again, he went to Oregon State like in the middle of camp, and that was a team that was headed towards a coaching change. So it was a disaster over there. So he's been in some unstable situations. Look, when you're fighting with your position coach, you share some of the blame, although again, it's FSU, so he's probably right. But this is a situation, like you mentioned, being around people that he knows, that know him, people that can hold him accountable. JT is somebody who not only knows him, but I am sure if you're Hussey, this guy gave you a second chance to play big-time football, to join a national championship team after all the tribulations you've had in terms of going to different places that were complete disasters. He's got to have, I'm sure, a lot of gratitude for JT given him the opportunity. So I do think there'll be a lot of accountability there. I always liked the intensity that Hussey played with. The former running back in youth football. So he's a guy that can return kicks for touchdowns and stuff like that, like really athletic in that way, on top of the track speed. But he's physical. I think when I look at this pickup, you're talking about depth, upside. If he gets it together, he could be a starting caliber player for you. At minimum, he's going to be some depth. And then special teams, fast, physical, something to prove. And it's not costing you a ton. Really, you're doing him a favor in a lot of respects. So in a portal era where you got one window, you want to add players, makes sense.
Yeah, and you're losing. You already know you're losing Jacoby Thomas, but you're losing also Jadeus Richard, who you were hoping maybe could be a nice depth piece for you, and someone, if he got healthy, could be a guy who could play all over the secondary there. So you lost him. You lost Amari Wallace. You still have Dylan Day there, which is, a guy that I think is in a similar boat as Hussey, has an opportunity here to elevate here in the spring. But yeah, I think this is a pickup that was necessary at this time, with some upside.
Yeah, he can cover too, right? This is a guy that you could, like you see here in these highlights. He has the speed and he has enough change of direction that you could put him, lining him up over a slot receiver and expect him to do a nice job at tight end. So versatility as well, but it's low risk, man. And it's just how you're going to construct your team in this portal era. First year, I think it was triage. Everybody that can help get on board and gets a lot of guys out. This is 2022. 23 got even more of those guys out. Your portal quality got a little higher, but you were still taking a lot of players. 24, you took a lot of starting caliber players. So your quality, I think, per player went up, but you still took a lot of guys. Marty Brown in the backfield, obviously Carson Beck, Marion, CJ Daniels, Tony Johnson, who's not able to really contribute, Alex Bauman at tight end, the center, Brockermeyer, right? Then you go to the other side of the ball, just from in terms of instant guys. David Blay, right, was brought into play. Mo Toure, Jacoby Thomas, Zechariah Poyser, Keontae Scott, really most of your defensive backs, right? Ethan O'Connor, Charles Brantley, who didn't really contribute. I mentioned Kamal Barner earlier, a linebacker, Xavier Lucas. So there's a lot of portal guys last year. They were all kind of players you hoped would start. Now, I think you're hoping your highly rated, highly paid young players that you spent a lot of money to get, spent money to retain, not to mention your proven players that you spent money to retain. You want those guys to have opportunities to play. And I think you are focusing on need areas with premium guys. Quarterback, we need a quarterback. Let's see who they sign at quarterback. I think we're all ready for that instant reaction. Receiver, number one receiver, complimentary.
We've done 5 different instant reactions on.
It's going to be like a delayed reaction. But receiver, you get 3, right? Potentially, at least 2 with the potential for a third. But impact guys, best receivers on their team type of guys. And then defensive end, you get the most expensive one. So a lot of this is big ticket items at these positions, and then depth that's meant for depth with low cost guys. You think, you know what? These guys have physical tools. They were in bad situations. Merriweather, the offensive lineman from Georgia, what happened to his offensive line coach, Stacy Searles? Fired for incompetence. What happened to the Florida State and Oregon State coaches, right? Florida State would have fired him if they had any money. Oregon State fired their coach. So I think you're taking talented guys from bad situations at low cost to be your depth. And then when you get starting caliber guys, you're getting real high level expensive starting caliber guys.
It means more when it comes from home, D. Thank you to Glenvar Ultra GP, says Glenvar loves Kane's insight. It means more when it comes from home, man.
Shout out to Glenn. Some of the biggest peacock bass in north of the Amazon are in Glenvar Heights.
Lake Catalina, baby.
But yeah, man, I like this player. And again, that was one of the things I remember. You came in one of these days we were at the old studio.
Well, I remember the conversation now. I was talking to a scout about what FSU had. This was after their good year a couple years ago.
Yeah, this was going into 2024. So getting ready for that season where they won 2 games, but they had a lot of highly
right.
They were ranked high going into the year.
Right. So just kind of comparing Miami and Florida State. And I remember the scouts saying, hey, they're excited about this guy. They think this is one of their top 2 or 3 dudes here moving forward. They had the linebacker as well, who flirted with, I think he might have transferred to Colorado and then come back or something.
Yeah.
But Hussey was someone that they were excited about. So again, not sure what a lot of guys who have gone to Florida State, stuff hasn't gone right for them the last few years here. So hopefully some of that was in play there. But again, I mentioned it. sometimes guys need new environments. Coming back home can be a very positive thing for some.
No doubt, no doubt. And risk reward, the reward, you get a starting caliber player to quality depth special teams player. The risk, nothing, right? You're not counting on this guy to be your starting safety. You got Zechariah Poyser, you got Bryce Fitzgerald. We'll see what Omar Thornton does, another kind of South Florida head buster, building a culture of violence there. Dylan Day, another physical player. We love JJ Dunnigan. You do lose Amari Wallace, so it's almost like an even swap with Amari Wallace as far as local guys. Of course, Hussy being the more experienced guy, probably a little faster as well. But Pete, I had to bring this up. But like and subscribe. Got 1,300 on for an instant react on this in the middle of the day. Look who's on campus. Shout out to Gabby for these photos. But look who's on campus. Your boy, Big Barcade, and appears
our boy,
definitely our boy. And who else is there? There he is. Here's some designer shirts these boys got on. You can tell they're California. They got those nice designer sweaters with the little slogans on it. It's amazing, these sweaters. They look just like normal sweaters, but they have some like French language on it, and you sell them for like $150. I got to start doing this on Kane's Inside. I got to put lace your boots up in French and put it on one of these sweaters.
Do you want me to pocket watch? I'm going to tell you how much that sweater is.
Yeah, how much is that sweater?
What do you think? Guess.
$120.
$618. Actually, it might even be more expensive. Let me see. I see it for $618 right here.
What is it? Is it made out of like satin?
You know, I gotta say, I'm pretty decent with the pronunciation of these brands, but I don't know this one. And Fonts Riches Deprimé. I don't know, man.
And Fonts is like a kid, right? Like a baby.
Yeah, but it's with an E. So
yeah, that's French. They do the E. They do the E one. Let's go. I'm sure we got someone live in France right now listening that can school us on this.
Depressed rich kids. Not good. Not good. We don't want Darian depressed.
It doesn't look depressed right now.
The sunshine should warm him up, man.
Pete, today was probably the most beautiful day of the year. Just this, I've never seen the sky so blue as it is today over Glenvar Heights and Miami Beach. And
some would say it was Duke blue.
It was bluer than that devil. No sympathy for the devil today. That devil's hurting right now. They're looking at Walker Eget highlights. We were doing that a week. Remember before Mensa jumped in the portal? My guy Nick West was on the show. Shout out to Papa's Alternative Brew, and he was schooling me on Walker Eget. I was like, oh man, it's bleak. We better get somebody here at the last minute. And then boom, you get Mensa. And now Duke's watching Walker Eget highlights.
Right. Listen, I hope it works out for Duke, man. Best of luck to them. Best of luck to them. I've said enough about Duke. I think it's played out the way that we could have seen it playing out, and the season will tell time here.
I want more analysis of the sweaters. What's this Internal Chaos sweater? Do you know? Are you familiar with this brand? It's actually a T-shirt, but that does not look like a Gildan T-shirt.
Let me see what we got here.
Internal Chaos, and then appears to be Arab.
Well, that's Arab. I was gonna say that's Arab there.
Big Barcade. Big Barcade hasn't even gotten paid yet, really, probably because he was on that Harvard money from Duke. That was probably not that much. So this is his first. And I heard this guy's a Harvard guy, perfect SAT. He's been around this lifestyle, but yeah, he's about to be a lot richer man here, and that's why he's got that grin on.
Listen, and like we said, not just richer in his pockets, with the amount of talent around him, with the coaching he's going to be getting, with everything, man. Just the life down here in Miami.
Yeah, this is these guys are feeling good, definitely feeling good. Again, perfect day. They're entering a champion. This is the perfect place, really, if you're these guys, because to me, you're a competitor. You're joining a team that just came from the championship, so you know they're good. But at the same time, it's not like they won the championship. So you're like, all right, like I'm joining a good team, but I'm going to be the missing piece to bring us over. King Jesus asking, please tell me this photo is today. It is like right now. Shout out to Gabby. I'm sure he posted up there, right there in Coral Gables. He didn't live by campus, man. Gabby's got like the spidey sense, man. He's on campus in 2 seconds. But yeah, these are on campus. So we'll see. You know, Cooper, I know his sister plays lacrosse. Mensa's sister plays soccer. We have a soccer team, but no lacrosse, women's lacrosse team, right? Is that right?
Yeah, no lacrosse here.
But we do have women's soccer.
Yes,
At
women's
a
soccer.
competitive
Good
level.
team. Yeah, good team. Good team. Is that one of those calls you need to take, D?
It's my wife, so I probably should take it. But
Oof.
she, my wife knows that. I feel like it's my mom calling me because I know she's probably asking me to telling me to do something. But yeah, she's she sent me a text today. She goes, not like anything checking on the kids or on me. She's like, write a season recap and a looking forward story.
That's what the people want, right?
I gotta get working, man. I was trying to enjoy my beautiful day. Got a couple extra workouts in, watching Barcade highlights, and now I gotta write a whole story now. It's probably what she's calling about. She didn't realize I'm working here. Let's see. Yeah, Blaze says sister's coming for soccer for as far as Grace Mensa. I hope so. They're very close. That was a great interview with both of them interviewing the Draft Network. And I guess it was a brother-sister pair of athletes that interviewed them. So it was like a similar dynamic between the interviewer and interviewee. They were real relaxed and loose. They seemed like just real smart, real close, real clean cut. I mean, kind of family you want to be associated with Miami. Big Barcade, I don't know. Young Spidey.
But, young Spidey, huh? Is that what it is?
Well, I know. Just he does the little thing, the spool, the Spidey thing. That's what it is, right? The celebration.
Yeah, I think so. I just was wondering why it was young Spidey and not big Spidey.
That's your thing. Big Barcade. Big Barcade. He is Peter Parker, man. That's why I'm gonna start calling him Peter Parker because he's got the clean cut look, and then he puts on the uniform and he starts climbing defenders and doing all that kind of thing. So yeah, man, I'm fired up. And Conrad, I think that visit already happened. I mean, he's from here.
That was last week. That was last week. Yeah, that was like last Friday, Thursday, Friday, end of last week.
Real quick on Conrad Hussey because it's interesting. So before their senior years, right? So before their senior years of high school, I did a like underrated players in South Florida list. These were they had to be 3 stars coming out. That was the rule. So it's like a watch list. Most of these guys I'm still watching them. They're still being watched. So they're not doing it yet. But they still got time. You look at Jesse Anderson, Luke Evans. I don't think any of these guys did anything. But then here, look at these last guys here. I had King Mack and Conrad Hussey. King Mack is playing great football he was playing great football for Penn State. I'm not sure where he transferred to, maybe NC State, but he was a 4-star transfer, I believe. But then I asked with Conrad Hussey because they just got speed and they play ball. Again, Hussey, missile on coverage units, takes kickoffs to the house, former running back. And then last one was D'Angelo Pons right here. So one of these guys made it. Hopefully more of them do. But Conrad Hussey, a guy that we've liked for a while. So I'm not just saying that. This is a guy we've had our eye on for a minute.
I like this. I like these fit breakdowns.
Oh, what we got? What are we getting here on that?
No, I like
chaos.
I haven't found anything on that one. I haven't.
That one's probably so exclusive.
I saw a tweet now that just said that the hoodie was actually $1,500. So
I gotta put Pete. Let's get lace your boots up in French. God bless him in French. Pete hop in French. What's the French version of Pete? Pierre hop in. I got a Pierre hop in shirt with a little cursive on it. Put on a champion hoodie, sell it for a G.
Yeah, I don't think that thing was 600, man. I'm on the website now. There's some interesting stuff here. I'll tell you that much. You get way better deals at Miami Hurricane Team Store.
That's right. Use promo code Insight20. You know they're going straight there right after the visit.
Well, there and Lomelo's for sure. Definitely to get there. They're gonna have some funds. I'm guessing so.
Well, they're from California, man. Maybe they eat like me. Maybe they're having bean burgers and stuff like that.
I don't know. I hope not. I hope not for their sake, for their enjoyment level.
Michael Quignon is saying, "Pop, don't stop" in French. Pringle coming back allowed that slogan to live on. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, the fun stopped for 24 hours. It was the fun was in limbo.
2,500 on for this nonsense. But yeah, man, with Conrad Hussey, fired up. I like it. I've always liked the player, as I just showed. Depth. It's nice to get upside players that you don't need to rely on, that you're not desperate for. Hey, we need a safety. Let's just get this guy and forget the red flags. Hey, we trust the player. We have all the power and leverage here. He's coming in hungry. He's got great chance. We know the kid. Obviously, Jason Taylor knows the kid better than anybody and trusts the kid. I don't know him. I've heard he's a good kid from people that know him. But faster, more physical, more upside at the defensive back position. So let's rock and roll.
2,500 on live with us here. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Wait, hold on. I have a crazy update for you, Pete.
Let's go.
And then with the Canes. Really.
Let's hear it.
Okay. This is why you always you can't sell on these bad evaluations. I had this guy as a stud since he was a freshman in high school. Goes to Miami, looks physically like a walk-on, does not succeed, moves on, bounces around. Seems like the classic South Florida washout. But G5, All-American according to some reports. Big baby Lawrence Seymour just signed with the University of Texas.
Wow.
After a great year at Western Kentucky. How about that?
Wow.
Big baby Seymour to Texas.
He's playing what? Center?
He played guard at Western Kentucky, I believe, and he was good. He had great numbers. I mean, offensive
good for him, man.
His grades were good. But
good for him.
We always believed in him, man. It's just he had to get his body right. Now he's old.
Yeah,
Hopefully, we didn't miss on him. Hopefully, the guy is not when we need offensive lineman. Maybe we should have gotten big baby Seymour back. But shout out to him.
Hey, I wouldn't have hated the pickup.
Me neither, man. Appreciate you. Another Jesus in the chat. Are there any DTs or linebackers we're looking at in the portal? If it is, I think it'd be probably one along these lines that you just kind of off the reservation, like you're not looking at them, but you're saying, this is somebody I think makes a lot of sense. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, linebacker would be the position I would think that would happen, and maybe tight end, like the comments said. But it seems like they feel pretty good about Lofton getting back right, getting his body where it needs to be, using him in a certain role. Luka Gilbert in year 2, and then you have a couple of these freshmen. And again, I don't know why. I think he could be a factor as a blocker, D. But Jackson Carver.
Yeah, I was happy to see him running routes. Very nice young man.
He's big.
Smart, big.
He's filled out. He's filled out from high school. I think he can be a guy that plays a role on this team. Now, does Luka Gilbert turn into that field stretching tight end? I think that's the question, right? But that's also what you have. Hopefully, one of these freshmen can step up and be a consistent pass catcher for you and provide a threat down the field.
No, you've been bringing that up, and I love where you're going with that. He has the body type that we've been lacking at that particular position, or at least we lack it this year. We had it a lot in 24, had it less last year, and I think we're probably having even less of it in the year to come, unless Jackson Carver can step in there. You'll have a couple guys, Luka Gilbert, but I think that's a very interesting one. I love the idea, and I think now that he's healthy, I could see it. So big spring coming up for Jackson Carver.
No doubt.
All right, man. Well, listen, stay tuned. There might be some more instant reactions to come, 2 to be exact. We'll be monitoring. But
you think they do it at the same time?
No, you got to give him I hope not, for content purposes. Spread them out. We'll see, though. We'll see. That's going to be a fun trip. And I'm telling you, man, Pete, you're here. This is, for those who are not here, this is like honestly the best day of the year in Miami so far. It's only been 27 days, but best day of the year so far. So these guys are going to have a fun time here. Free at last from this lawsuit and all that cloud. It's going to be fun times at Coral Gables. Maybe fun times this August.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for spring practice, man. Should be fun.
Oh, yeah. Even earlier. It'll be fun times. So like and subscribe to the show and stay tuned for the Instant React.
Go Canes.